Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending where you are in the world. I hope you're all well. I hope your families are all doing well and living the dream, guys. It's Friday, the weekend is upon us, and more importantly, the Aston Villa game is very much upon us, and it's going to be very interesting. Not so much, but listen, for me, all games that Spurs playing are important, and I know in terms of the league and what have you, there's not really importance enough in terms of what we can do in the league. However, it does offer a very good window of opportunity for those who are looking to try and break in the team for the final, or gives us a window to try something in respect of the final to be played on Wednesday in Bilbao. So for me, the interesting part, it's something that we've discussed, even at work today, guys. Honestly, we've got loads of Spurs fans as well as Gooners. It's North London. So those are the main two teams that are supported, especially in my line of work, with the odd Man United fan here and there. And Liverpool, of course, not forgetting. It is London after all, guys. But what was discussed, more importantly, is what can we come up, because obviously we're massively starved of creativity in the middle of the park. That is obviously been very documented everywhere, with Bergvall being out, Maddison being out, and Kulusevski out. We are starved of creativity in the middle of the park. So something has got to happen. Right now, the available midfielders that we have are of Gray, Bentancur, Sarr and Bissouma. Those are the only four centre midfielders for 3 spots as it stands. Now, for me, then there's been talks of it in online, and of course there's rumours about it, that Porro could be used in midfield. I mean, what Porro has is he's good in one-on-ones. He likes taking players on, and he's got an absolute engine on him. In addition to that, he has a shot on him. So I can see why the thinking behind that is that it could be used there. We don't have any definitive certainties that will even happen, but I can understand the thinking behind that. Now, of course, playing wide, be it at, whether you play right back or right wing, in this case Porro, and then playing in the middle, it's completely different. Now, he has the intelligence and the qualities to do that. Whether actually he can do it, and certainly at a level required for a final, remains to be seen. But it'd be interesting, guys, if that actually happens tonight as an option, certainly as an attacking option in the middle of the park. Can he be used there with the likes of Bentancur, Sarr, or Bissouma? Whichever pairing you're thinking. If that would be the case, that would give Spence a real chance to play at right back with the other 3 places more than likely confirmed with Udogie, Van der Ven and Romero. Now, how many of those will play tonight? I doubt it, guys. I think personally it'll be Danso playing, it'll be Davis playing, Spence will be playing, and the other spot at fullback will remain to be seen who it's available to. Perhaps even Archie Gray will get a look in there at fullbacks. I think it's going to be a very makeshift fullback situation. So beyond, and even the goalkeeper, I think we'll change that. I think Kinski will play tonight ahead of Vakaro. So we'll save practically a whole back 5 for the final. So the midfield, like I said, those for me will be interesting. If we go with a 3 defensive-minded midfielders, that has to be said. I know Bissouma can enjoy a little bit of freedom going forward. Bentancur can glide in there as well. Sarr can get forward. But really, as characteristics, they tend to be more defensive-minded players than probably an attacking one. And that remains to be seen how we move forward to that. That could be an indication of how we plan to play at Man United. If we don't see anything of that kind, or if we don't try the likes of Porro, as I said, it's been rumoured that it could be used in midfield. If that doesn't happen tonight, at least, if not from the start, but even during the game, if that doesn't happen, then I can't actually see it being improvised and used in a final without ever being tested before. Be interesting to know what you guys make of that. Is it something that you would do? Would you go with Basuma, Bentancur and Sarr in midfield, really beefing it up and try and exploit the wide areas of our team to attack them? And of course, that leaves the front line. Now, obviously, with Son return, who's going to be playing a part tonight, whether it'll be from the start. He won't probably finish the game if he starts it, or he'll come on as a substitute during the game and complete it. But he definitely needs minutes tonight, and I can see him definitely playing a large chunk of the game tonight. If that is the case, then he's more than likely will have enough minutes, enough game tonight to then consider to be used as from the start on Sunday. And that was another debate. Oh, sorry, on Wednesday. And that was another debate that we was having. I heard one of the Spurs fans speaking with another Spurs. I was, eavesdropping, and as you do, and he was saying, no, I really don't want Son to play in the final. I don't want him to start. Well, he didn't want him to start in the final. Correction. He didn't want him to start. And that's when I interjected it. Well, why wouldn't you want him to start? What are our options? If you look at the semi-finals that we played against Bodo Glimt, we had Richarlison there and Johnson on the other side. So why wouldn't Son be started ahead of Richarlison on the left-hand side? If that's what we're looking at. Either Richarlison or Son will be playing on the left-hand side. If you think Solanke is going to take his place up front, as he would do, that leaves the right-hand side, possibly Johnson or Odegaard. That's what we're looking at, really, if we're looking at the 3-4. So, for me, in terms of quality, in terms of he is a big match player, surely Son has to be considered to start, depending, of course, how he gets on tonight. And those are people that are considering the same scenario as Kane we did in 2019. That was completely different setup, guys. It was completely different to this time around. And I'll tell you why, because in that 2019, we had a lot of options there. We had a lot of options. And also to make way for Kane, people like Lucas Moura and Llorente missed out. And those are the players that brought us through the quarterfinals. They got us through the semi-finals. And to dismiss them over just gambling on Kane, that was the issue back then. We don't have the options now. Because if you think about it, the back four really is done and dusted. That's the goalkeeper, the back four. The midfielders with Bergvall, Kulusevski and Maddison all out. You really don't have a lot of options in terms of creativity. So whether you play the three defensive midfielders or improvise something with Porro, that's what we're looking at. And then the forward line is going to be Richarlison. I could see really as an impact player, perhaps for Solanke or any other forward line. And if you think between Odegaard, Tell and Johnson, perhaps Johnson might get nod. So Odegaard, Tell could be players be used as impact. That would leave Solanke and Son in the forward line, or it might be Tell on the left-hand side with Son be used as an impact sub. But that's what we're looking at. So I don't feel by Son coming in is going to be a Kane situation, because we didn't have a Lucas Moura and right now that could be. How the hell can you leave him out? We don't have anyone in that forward line that you say, how can you leave him out? Outside of Solanke, really, it's going to be Richarlison. Tell, has he given us any real guarantees that he can really make it on a big night, on a big stage? As Odegaard really got involved in that, I can say, for me, Odegaard would be perfect for an impact. That's the kind of impact I would want coming off the sub. Tell, like I said, Johnson probably, out of all of them, probably likely the one to start on the right-hand side. We're now not even Kulusevski being an option there. And that leaves Solanke and Richarlison in that forward line. So for me, Solanke will start. So the definitive starters are in that forward line for the final will be Solanke, 100%, and Johnson more than likely. And that leaves one more place from the three players that I just mentioned. So, let me know your thoughts. Be interesting. I think tonight against Villa is important because, like I said, because that is the last game we're going to play ahead of the final. Be interesting. Good side. It'll be a good atmosphere, solid atmosphere. It'll be lively because they're fighting for their European place. So it's similar sort of environment of what you consider a final, because the Aston Villa have a lot to play for, so they'll be coming at us as well. So that's a really good rehearsal for final in terms of for Tottenham. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes on. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Everything what has been discussed, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment and subscribe. And as always, forever always, come on you Spurs.